Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel. You're watching A Lawn Care Life. Today I'm back at the neighbor's lawn that I sprayed about 2 months ago, and I want to show you what has happened since then, and also show you what I'm going to do today, because it's time to help fix this lawn that really had been neglected for, I'm thinking, forever. And this house may be around 50 years old. Maybe 40. Mine's 50, and I think hers is a little newer than mine. So anyway, let's show you the yard, show you what has happened since the first application, and then I'll show you what we're going to do today. Let's get started right now. Okay, first I want to show you a little bit of footage, just to show you spraying the yard and showing you a little bit of what it looked like when I started. So this was I think in February when I sprayed it initially, and now we're a couple months later on into early April, and it has a mixture of different grass types, but anyway, let's cut to that clip now showing what we did the first time. So you see that I basically sprayed the yard and put a pre-emergent out, because you know what I've seen, even with the Bermuda grass being real thin on this yard, if I don't use a pre-emergent, I'm afraid it's going to be so overtaken with crabgrass that it's going to have a hard time for the Bermuda grass to spread. And there's very little Bermuda grass here, but like oftentimes when I've done this to yards, often there ends up being more Bermuda than you realize. You just can't see it because it's being so choked out with the weeds. Now that a lot of the weeds are gone, let's see what the Bermuda grass is. Now this is going to be real wide blade common Bermuda that grows, like I say, about in every cow pasture in my area. I'm in Alabama, but again, as it grows thicker, and it can still look nice. It's not going to have as tight and you know, well manicured look as hybrid Bermuda, but it still is much improved. But you know, it's pretty much all in here, and you can see that it's starting to turn green with the warmer weather that we've been having lately. We're getting up close to 80 degrees now, so it all pretty much looks like that. And then if I come over here, you've got some centipede. Okay, so that's fine. I mean, you know, any grass is better than what we were working with. So we got a good bit of centipede on this side of the yard, and then a decent amount of, you know, common Bermuda. And then let's take note of the weeds that did not die, because, you know, there was tons of weeds, tons of henbit and all kind of clover and cool season weeds, but there's still a lot of weeds left here in the yard. So you got clumps of like cool season grasses like fescue or ryegrass. You've got this one that I've been seeing everywhere. It's called field matter. I knew it wouldn't die. There's still a bunch of that left in the yard. Let's see what else we can find that did not die from the initial application. You got some of this. You got some creeping Charlie left in the yard. Got some wild violets. Looks like it's not, you know, having a good day, but it's still alive. You got a little clump of Dallas grass there. So, you know, there's still some weeds. This annual blue-eyed grass. So, you know, some things are still hanging around, but we got the weeds under control. We can see that we do have some grass to work with. So that brings us to what we're going to do today. All right, I'm going to do a couple things to this lawn today. Again, we're in early April. The weather's warming up. I believe we had our last frost of the year this past week, and the forecast is looking great moving forward. So I'm going to put some fertilizer on the lawn, and I'm trying to get this Bermuda grass to spread. Now, I'm basically going to over fertilize the centipede lawn this year, and I would be okay if I kind of stressed it out and the Bermuda grass started taking it over. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we can give it a shot. Just something worth noting here. See all this? This is all this stuff. I believe that's dead crabgrass from the previous year. So if I wouldn't have put that pre-emergent out, there would be lots of tiny crabgrass in here that would make it very difficult for this Bermuda to spread. And you say, Jason, the Bermuda grass is so thin. Is it going to fill in? Well, I think you're going to have to stay tuned to watch, but I feel very confident that it will fill in. I get asked a lot, like, should I put some more seed out or whatever? And if you've got even this little amount of Bermuda, my answer is typically no. Let's just fertilize it and watch it spread. All right, so the fertilizer I'm using today, I buy my products from Harold's. Bag's upside down. Turn the camera upside down. Anyway, this is a 20-3-5 blend. Show you what it looks like. So, you know, just little kind of clear and brown pellets. This is a quick release fertilizer. I'm going to come back later and probably put the slow release polyon fertilizer that I use on my customers' lawns. I'll probably come back in about 6 weeks or so and do that, and that may be all the fertilizer I do, because that fertilizer lasts for about 4 months. So this is to go ahead and get this stuff growing with the warmer weather. We're supposed to have some rain later in the week, and we're just going to keep checking on the progress of this lawn and see how it works. So I'm gonna spread with that first, and then what I've got is a combination of products in this little handheld sprayer, and I'm gonna spray some of the weeds in the yard. I'm gonna spray some of these tough weeds that the initial application didn't take care of, like the field matter, like the creeping Charlie, like those clumps of ryegrass. So this is 2 products mixed in this tank with some surfactant. I'm using Change Up and Certainty. That combination is very good. The Change Up can help with the field matter, the creeping Charlie, you know, a lot of the broadleaf weeds. The Certainty can help with the sedges. It can help with those clumps of ryegrass or fescue, whatever that is, laying over there. So we're gonna use that combination and continue to clean up. Now there's a lot of untreated areas around here, which I'm glad, because we can be able to continue to compare the treated areas versus the untreated. So let's get started with the fertilizer. I'm putting out a bag of fertilizer for every 12 or 13,000 square feet. So this, just looking at this lawn, is probably about 6,000 square feet. And you say, well, how much nitrogen is in this bag? Well, it's 20% nitrogen. So that first number is nitrogen. It's a 50-pound bag. And if you divide that number by 2, it'll let you know how many pounds of nitrogen are in the bag. So you divide 20 by 2, it gives you 10. There's 10 pounds of nitrogen in this 50-pound bag. So I'm going to put some out here, and we will come back and check on it and see how well it goes after I spot treat for the weeds. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is get my sprayer. I'm gonna go around and spray the weeds that I talked about, and then we'll wrap up the video. Now, one of the things you may have noticed, and the reason I waited until this grass was mostly green, with having that centipede lawn, I wouldn't want to come in there and spray Change Up on it when the centipede was not fully green. It's almost fully green at least, so I'm not worried about it damaging. Now if you spray it before it's fully green, sometimes you'll really delay the green up. So again, I'm just kind of taking this lawn layer by layer. You see, we made a huge stride forward after the first application. Now this is the second application, coming in fertilizing and getting rid of some of these tough weeds. And we'll come back and keep checking on this lawn. And I hope to continue doing more videos and continue to piece them together so that you can see the whole progress of how the yard was transformed. Because a lot of people just said, oh, you need to resod that yard, you need to put some seed out or whatever. I'm saying, let's just see what we can do without doing any of that. Just spraying the weeds and fertilize it and watching the Bermuda grow. Again, this is common Bermuda. It's gonna be a little rougher and not as, you know, beautiful in my opinion as a hybrid Bermuda, but it can look very nice and already has made great strides. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and appreciate you subscribing if you want to follow along with this or the over 600 lawn care videos on the channel. If you're in the lawn business, go over to lawncarelife.com. There's a lot of resources available for you there. Talk to you guys later. Bye.